overall, the total cost of the HR function has increased significantly over the last 10 years. And what we see is an increase by 40% over that period of time, which is quite significant. This increase corresponds to a chosen evolution, in fact. And what we see from the more mature organization is the fact that they have chosen to optimize their cost around transactional activities, but at the same time they have chosen as well to invest significantly on the talent management processes. Who would have thought 15 years ago that shared services would be the norm as of today for managing G&A and especially HR? In fact, shared services, if we look at the current situation, have delivered upon initial expectations. If we look at the research that we've recently conducted, more than 60% of the organization have delivered 20% of more in terms of productivity improvement, which is quite significant. What's ahead of them now is to create additional benefits, greater value for the internal business community. In terms of evolution for shared services center, we see companies accelerating the move to global business services. Global, meaning that there's a strong willingness for organizations to move to expand its scope in terms of both processes and geographies. Business, as it reflects an advanced professionalism and advanced capabilities in terms of processes, in terms of IT, in terms of governance. Services, meaning that there's a clear shift toward a culture of services, which might be quite different from the initial wave or the first wave of shared services. In terms of strategy, we need to recognize that HR function need to strategically assess and set the level of ambition for its organization on a 3 to 5 year horizon. This being said, it's really a multi-stage journey. What we see is that the first stage is a consolidation stage, meaning that there is a consolidation to one single location for the provision of generally transactional HR services to multiple customers in the organization. The next stage in the value chain is the standardization, meaning that shared services are willing to grasp a better standardization in terms of processes. They are willing to leverage IT extensively and optimize through advanced sourcing models. And it is only once this promise that has been delivered that they can move to the next level with this kind of global business services type level, which is clearly an opportunity for them to move beyond transactional work to more talent management oriented services. In terms of performance measurement, the study reveals that approximately 80% of HR shared services organizations do have KPIs. At the same time, we need to recognize that most of the current HR shared services organizations do not have the set of tools, processes and governance that would enable them to track and monitor progress on a regular basis. This is what we observe, and this is what is at stake for the future, I believe. The study reveals that there's an emerging trend through the use of balanced scorecard, customer surveys, or regular benchmarking. But we see companies not generally taking the full benefits of performance measurement if they do not embrace both efficiency and effectiveness metrics. And this is probably what is at stake for the future and the evolution of shared services.